To it. How's your career?
Dude, things are in the works as always,
Yeah, keeping it moving.
better than some, not as good as others.
That's always how it's gonna be, bro.
I suppose that makes sense. Yes, just
Uh,
kind of eternally. No, I just got off a call as well with my buddy who's in marketing, and he had a way that could potentially help with value mentality. And then just talking to him in general, he works with some huge clients and stuff. So it actually was very like clear and insightful and stuff. So that's fun.
yeah.
Yeah, we just had that value mentality party the other day. Funny enough, like
How was that?
it was delightful. It was my brother's one of his best friends from college. They went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Uh he's living out here and he runs kind of a golf athletic leisure company. And we've been talking and he's super smart. And he's like, dude, why don't we do something together? And so this was, kind of his brainchild, and he did it at a place in Santa Monica or Venice that's like cool little like electro looking like neon bar called Little Friend. And we just did this little thing, hyped it up, and so it was a fun night out, right? Raise
Sick.
morale. Yeah.
Yeah. Building the brand. You
Building
dropped
the
your
brand.
commercial last week.
Yeah. I don't know if we've talked since then, maybe. Yeah.
You showed it to me like the
Yes.
day before you dropped, or maybe it was that night you dropped it.
Yeah.
And I thought
Yeah,
it was
man.
fucking great.
You're
Good
too kind.
response.
The response has been like astounding,
Amazing.
and I'm trying to figure out how to like utilize it the best now and like get it out
Right.
there. But I mean, it's a start of so many great things. Like, yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited to get. I'm gonna get my own camera coming up.
Yeah.
That
When's that coming?
Fujifilm X-T100 or whatever. Yeah, looking into it, trying to find the cheapest
Oh,
place
I
to get.
thought you already ordered it. Gotcha.
Nah, nah.
Yeah.
My only thing is I'm wondering, like, it's known for being a pictorial camera. And I don't know if it has
Pictorial
quite,
cam. Is that the right term? Pictorial?
definitely not, no.
Just a regular cam. Yeah.
Yeah, what have you. But I'm just concerned about the video quality because I know on when it takes pictures, it's known for this sort of like grainy film look. Um,
I,
which I'm wondering if I have to get an additional lens for as well, which probably wouldn't be able to
but it
afford.
takes video, right?
It takes video. So, and I assume it's good. The reviews are like the video's not as good as the
Mm.
camera snapshots, but we'll see. And how about
I like how
yourself?
you're going for a very specific look. You're getting this camera because it's more grainy and filmy, and yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
committing
good for
to
the
that.
brand.
People are already saying someone just because I put the once upon or I was gonna say once upon a time in Hollywood. I put the video on Hollywood Beginnings too, as like, which by the way we should both do in the future. Anything that we're like, oh, feels fits our aesthetic and it's fun.
Awesome, bro. I
Like,
didn't even notice. That's great.
yeah, I don't
As
doubt
you
it.
should. Like any of our stuff, 100%.
Yeah, it totally suits the putting on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
Someone said like very Wes Anderson vibes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, I want to keep tapping into that. Naturally. What else? My manager, the new manager is helping me out because my British writing partner's coming in town now. He just got in town, and so she's trying to set up some meetings for us
Cool.
in this round. We have a new pitch package. Acting stuff, auditioning's been pretty silent lately, but
But you got so many irons in the fire. It's like you're going hard now on Valley Mentality. As soon as that starts slowing down, the
yeah,
auditions will start coming up.
it's true too, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's good. My dad and I writing the movie.
How's that going? Where are you at with that?
It's good.
Outline stage.
Yeah, we basically finished the outline.
I
Hope.
liked your story while a few pods back. You were like at a bar or something with your dad, maybe a restaurant, whatever. And he's like, I'm going to the restroom. By the time I come back, you better fucking have an idea for this thing. And you did, man. It's that pressure cooker.
I appreciate it, bud. Yeah, that in the Saturday Night Live style, like when you force yourself to do something,
Yeah,
do
man.
it.
There's
And
going to
it's
be a lot of
generally
dog shit like SNL, like 80% is usually crap, but you get
oh, of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's what made the final cut. But yes, it is still shitty. Most of it. Isn't
Yeah,
that crazy?
yeah, for the most part. Because yeah, when you're on that constant like revolution stuff, I mean, look at the ratio of my shorts, right?
Yeah,
Most are kind of
they're all
dings,
perfect.
whatever,
They're all
below the
perfect.
radar. But yeah, you get a few that just hit for whatever reason. And I think it's all about the numbers thing. You can't be too precious.
100%. And yeah, like when that idea of like doing your best to make the most of the time that you have. So like when my dad, as like just kind of a working exercise, when my dad said, I'm going, when I come back, have an idea. And I told myself, all right, don't just like give up. I could just sit there and be like, well, what am I supposed to think? Or like try for like 10 seconds and be like, well, nah, I don't really care. It's like use that time that you have and engage with what you're trying to do the most that you can. And it's not different from having a different job. Today, I've been doing this PR job, by the way, during the day, and the other job as well. I during the PR job, I had just send outs for different cosmetic companies, pretty much from 10 to 2. And the whole time I'm engaging. I don't really stop to think, like I'm kind of concentrating. I have to do this. And so if you apply that same level of focus to, okay, I'm going to write, like, what do you do for, as if you just sit there for 10 minutes, you will come up with something. And the first idea is usually bad, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm starting to ramp up to release a short every week, starting the 25th. And
You're
so
back at it.
back at it, brother. I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
Um,
please.
so this weekend, it's going to be the first two. I like shooting two of these at once, which is going to be the same deal with ours. I think ours
All
is what,
right.
like March 4th or 5th or something. And
Perfect.
I like shooting two at the same time because it's just more like bang for your buck. But what's crazy is, man, I haven't done this for a while now. I mean, it's been like a few months. And
Yeah.
so now it's like I have people who are depending on me, all this shit, but I like that because it's like this extra pressure of like, well, now I set this shit up. Like now people are, they're going to be there at a certain time. We're going to do this thing. Not everything's perfect, but at the end of the day, I just have to remind myself like it's all a numbers game. We've already set up the times. We're going to make it happen. We're going to knock them out. And, audience response will be what it is, but it's way better to have something than nothing. So
What is this whole new line of thinking? Like what's it re-inspired you to do the weekly shorts?
So the only tangible success that I've ever had is YouTube.
Yeah.
It started with recognizing that of like the hundreds of hours that I've poured into writing
Yeah.
by myself, chipping away, being inspired, whatever the fuck that was.
Uh-huh.
Like nothing's come from that. Any future opportunity I have or whatever is because of the following that I've gained on YouTube. I believe that audience is everything. I think studios, they want built-in audiences for their own stuff. And so if I think macro of like ultimately craziest dream ever, right? Like if I were to get 10 million subscribers on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like crazy scenario, but it could happen. If
Yeah.
I'm at that place or even like a million, whatever, then I've got this built-in audience that's proven that I can then funnel into like, oh, you like my short work? Here's this long form thing that I'm doing that I can like funnel you guys into. I've got this new project that I'm working on where I'm building out this website for one specific like long form horror feature and using like AI images that I'm creating that are really creepy and all this shit. And so before each one of these weekly shorts, I'm going to put out like, I don't know, like 2-3 second snippet about this long form thing, like at the very front of every short. And I'll be like, curious, check out this website. And then that'll be done. And so if I roll that out for like 20-30 shorts, hopefully it'll start to get some kind of buzz. I'm then building out the YouTube audience while at the same time getting interest for this one specific longer form thing.
I think that's good. I think the short form, in order to sort of add to the features that you have in mind, is only gonna, like, why not do that, I suppose. Do you think for sure what is the key ingredient to getting that audience viewership? Like, is it the weekly thing for sure that does add to it? Or does it matter if it's one every 3 weeks, but then maybe they're better quality? And I don't know. I'm just curious your thoughts on it.
Yeah, man. you can always do the properly set up thing of like, let's bring an entire crew, let's really make this cinematic. I'm still gonna have those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot those out maybe like one every 2 or 3 months. But the thing with that is like you can't be consistent with it. Um, I'm gonna love throwing it in there, like where just one random week it's gonna be like, oh fuck, like here's a crazy cinematic thing. I'm continuing to like build the craft, whatever. But
When the
bro,
inspiration comes, yeah, you'll cater
yeah,
to. Yeah.
exactly, man. But I mean, the alternative to not doing like a
Yeah.
weekly short is basically only doing those cinematic ones like once every 3 months, which I'll be doing anyway. So it's like in
Yeah.
the meantime, like while I still want to make stuff. I would still like to grow my audience. And bro, like the biggest videos on my channel, the biggest one like is shot more cinematically, but like the 5 others after that were literally just like camcorder handheld. Like they're in the 100Ks. The one you and I did, that's why I want to do another one with you in the same style, right? Where it's like people love that shit. And so even though it's not cinematic, whatever, it's still building the audience, it's still getting
Which
the
one are you talking about? The two camcorder ones? Or are you talking about the red dress one?
the two camcorder ones. Red
I
dress,
I'm not surprised that people love that. It's a
yeah,
very it does that is cinematic in its own way.
right, right. And I like shooting them more often too because then I don't have to deal with like bringing in all the equipment and like all this stuff. You know, it's just more that stuff's more like labor intense.
Yeah, I gotcha. What was I gonna say? No, I think. Have you considered? Like, I'm sure you have. Is it possible to do TikTok stuff in addition to YouTube? But like, well, for starters, something that entered my mind is why not just do a with the footage that you have from YouTube? Why not tease it on TikTok and do a 30-second trailer?
It's really smart, dude. You know what's crazy? I like completely sworn off TikTok. I was like
Yeah,
over it. Like the
I think we're about to start doing it for Valley Mentality.
oh for real.
We got to make it our own. I got to like spend 10 minutes a day on TikTok, study it, and figure out how, like, even our first thing,
Yeah.
everything's got to be in our aesthetic. Just because it's TikTok doesn't mean we're going to like fucking do some like phoned in little thing. It's got to fit.
Right. Psychologically, consistency wise, it's easier for me to be on YouTube because for YouTube, numbers wise, it's predictable. You'll get some like stinkers, whatever. People aren't into it, but at the same time, there's like a guaranteed floor for me. Like anything I release that's trash, I'll get probably like 3,000 views. TikTok is like you'll put out a video, it gets 8 million views. Next day you put something out, it's 100 views. I don't know about you, but that kind of shit like fucks me up. You know what I mean? It's just too all over the place.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I created a burnt mill TikTok and I put out 2 videos like 2 years ago and they got like 100 views a piece.
Okay.
Autumn, my girlfriend told me that I should like do the TikTok thing again. I recently reopened it and like a couple months ago, everyone discovered those videos. They're now at like, I don't know, like 15K or something. And
Okay.
so just seeing that growth, it got me a little like more hyped. I think I should, but it's just a matter of, where you want to spend your time.
I think,
I think it's worth it though, just on the off
I think
chance
I've been
people see it.
exactly. It's something that like you go into it as a exercise. You
Yeah.
say, I'm literally gonna keep reminding myself, don't get caught up in this, don't get caught up in this.
Yeah.
You might do 25 different videos and they might all just have 250 views, do nothing. And you say, okay, that didn't work. It's not me, whatever. That happens. You win some, you lose some. But because I'm talking about with my value mentality thing too. The point is that you have a consistent thing on it. You go in with a clear frame of mind. You don't get caught up in the whirlwind, which is tough to do, I'm sure, especially when you get one that goes viral or whatever. But it's about consistency. I don't think I would do that type of thing where it's like 3 videos a day, 3 videos. No, you make it work for you. You don't work for it. Because
Yeah.
I know someone else
It can't
comedian
run
that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just that's not worth it unless you get help. Like because there's too many other modalities to become successful. But I think if you're able to strike that balance, I'm thinking for myself too. It's another facet that could be utilized. It might not be glamorous at first. It might kind of suck, but yeah, with just like, allocating some time for that, I think it's worth doing and making as good as it possibly could be.
I agree. I think you're really good about that as far as like having the right mindset of how to deal with like I don't think you get too caught up in the numbers, right? Like it'd be nice, obviously. Everyone wants numbers, but I have a feeling like
I know other people that are definitely much worse. Humbly, Tanner gets freaked out like, oh, to the fall. He's not as bad with value mentality now, but I'm like, I emphasize more like if I'm proud of it, yeah, let's figure out how to get eyes to it. But I'm my practice is on like not worrying about the things that are out of my control. It's just
right,
like,
right.
sometimes you might have a treasure chest, but you can't spend it on anything because the people don't take treasure, right? So it's like what a visual, what a simile.
I dig
Uh,
it. Yeah.
anyway, right?
I agree. And yeah, just not getting too caught up in it. But yeah, bro, it is tough. Like if you get like, bro, I got the 8 million viewed video on TikTok. Getting that and getting all of like the red button notifications is meant to be addictive. Seeing it, seeing
Totally.
all the comments, like the thousands of comments, and then getting like 200 views. It's hard, bro. It's hard to just stay laser focused with it, because numbers translate to opportunity. That's the biggest thing.
I guess it's kind of tough as an example for like discipline. When I told myself like for 2 weeks, like, all right, don't really go on Instagram on your phone, just go on your computer, like as an attempt to like go on Instagram
Right.
less. And anytime I post something, especially with value mentality, it's like impossible to stay off it. Literally
Can
impossible.
you imagine posting something and then like waiting 48 hours, not doing any, like not looking
Not
back?
checking for 48 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, I might have to do that. I literally tell myself, like, okay, you can't go on for the day that you post it.
Yeah.
But the balance, bro. I also just like kind of knowing that it's okay to have that kind of like scatterbrain about the whole thing too.
Yeah.
Like,
We're human. It happens.
yeah,
I
it's not the worst thing in the world just to like go on Instagram a lot.
Yeah, exactly. There's another, like something I've noticed making like 100 shorts. The videos that I think are gonna do really well never do well. The videos that I feel like are kind of like, mid-tier, whatever, are the ones that blow up. And so that's something that I've had to learn as a creator, which is like it is in the audience's hands. Going back to what's in your control or not, you can't you can't force a video to do really well. You can have all the best intentions in the world, but an audience might just not be into it, and that's okay.
Even feature films and stuff, right? Like it's a bloodbath. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, feature films are crazy. They're really risky. That's why studios like audience, because like if you have a built-in fan base that's going to see it because of you, just relying on original IP is like the riskiest thing ever. That's why they got the franchises and
yeah,
Megan 2 got greenlit like the weekend that it blew up because it's got this built-in thing now. It's not an original IP.
yeah. What else are you doing? Speaking of which, to like try to get, I don't know, a feature under or like someone to hire you to do a feature. I don't know.
The feature, I mean, the thing I'm most excited about is this because it doesn't involve me like writing a full feature. It's like drumming up excitement for a longer
You
form.
already had features written in the pocket.
I do. I think that they could all kind of be more fine-tuned. But kind of what I learned, bro, is like the best use of my time. The thing I think I'm best at is getting people to be excited about like the seed of an idea. And then once I have that, I'll be like, okay, it's worth investing more time into building it out. But I mean, to answer your question, the way I'm gonna get features finished is like by teasing out this stuff, this consistent one idea long form thing for several shorts. That's at least a strategy I want to use right now.
I would love to see you have the feature script, fucking nitpick it, do good, but give yourself a time limit on it. Take it to try to get to a celebrity, pseudo celebrity, small dude or whatever, but someone that can get some attention and then fucking make it make it something that you're cinematically proud of, et cetera, et cetera. And it's got to be gritty. It's got to be great. And then try to go, what else can you do? Like,
Let's go 2 steps back though. Getting a celebrity
yeah,
or a pseudo celebrity, like how would you approach that?
you know people. You got to pitch it. You got to get to producers.
Who do I
And
know? I mean, we could bring on people to the pod, but
I think that's not the furthest thing away, dude. Like, look, a lot of people can't even write a script. You've done all these shorts, you have features written. Horror films a gamble anyway. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, Like, if you have an idea and you hook in the right person, you got to pitch that shit. You got to get reps. And everyone acts like, oh, you're not ready to get a rep or whatever until, but they're all wrong, Then there'll be people that just like love your stuff and are like, oh my gosh, you seem like you're so mature and everything with all this too. So don't listen to anyone. And you got to just make it happen. You're ready, you're there, you're doing it. So it's like, what's to keep you from, I mean, what you just have to get the connect to get someone that matters in now. We know a dude that is a writer that's best friends with Sprouse, and he wrote a film with him in mind. I don't know if it's helping that much to get into these rooms and stuff, but that's why I say kind of you got to just make it. You got to figure out how to make it, but you're a director, so why not?
I mean, I love hearing this from you, bro. I think I've been so kind of laser focused on audience of what I can do just because it's more within my control. But I mean, yeah, like you get a certain name attached to a project that can open doors. I mean, that's always been the case, right?
Look, I mean, you have the house. You built the house. You can make a movie, you release it, but you've done that on a small scale already. Do it. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from making it on a bigger scale. And I think with that journey, which you're already kind of doing in ways, a lot of connections and credibility will come from that too. I think you gotta figure out a way to get into those like film festival groups and stuff, Sundance and Tribeca, Toronto and crap. And you gotta like you gotta hustle in that way. But I think start thinking about yourself, which you already are, I'm sure, in certain senses. Start thinking about yourself in that capacity. How do you do on a big scale? Because also the short film stuff could stunt your growth as well. That can like take up too much of your attention to the point where it's like, oh, I'm keeping from really pushing this. And it's a balance. Some people, their growth is stunted by just spending 8 to 10 to much more than that years on a feature that they're just so heartfelt about and nothing happens to it.
Yeah.
You're on the other end and you're making all this stuff. You're making movies. You're doing it. You're getting attention. But so I just think there's that yang to the your yin a little bit.
I agree, man. I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple ways of doing things. Um, as far as like getting the gatekeepers to be on your side or opening doors, getting connects, I could definitely be more in that world. I think it's me, I guess having experiences where like I've tried to make connection. I think there's a lot of talk in Hollywood and I like executing, I like making stuff, but at the same time, I do completely understand that like you can spend too much time in this world of like more short form stuff and that could stunt your growth. I get that too. It's just trying to figure out what's the best investment of my time that could lead to the goal because we both know each other's goals and we're both going about it in like certain ways and things. And I've definitely shifted like multiple times. But yeah, man, I think as far as like the path that I'm on now, it's just kind of come from the realization that like any stock I've ever had or any kind of any result that I've ever had has been through what I've been doing on YouTube.
Yeah, that's terrible. And like to your point too, like you still are doing the other stuff. So it's all good.
But I hear you, bro. I mean, I would love to have like a celebrity or a pseudo celebrity attached to a thing. And I think a lot of that also just comes from like, you know, having the confidence to just be like, yo, like I have this thing, it's really great. Check it out. Are you interested? And just moving
Yeah,
forward.
I
But
wonder if that happens as much as it used to, like, but
yeah, I think part of the reason too that I want more like audience and subscribers, whatever, is like I feel like I'll be more attractive to any potential attachment if I have this thing. It's like then I have proven success of like, oh, all these people are really into my shit. You know, you should check it out too.
yeah, you gotta have both. You gotta have both. And I think you do already have that audience engagement. It's just, yeah, to go to that next echelon, like you said, of like millions and millions, that's always a gamble. Like, you know, you know,
I mean, we've been
it's just-
bringing on people to this podcast, right? And like asking like what they've done. Like everyone has their own story and stuff. You know, we us even talking to Tyler McIntyre. I remember you saying to him like, "Hey, like you know, Jacob's been knocking on this door for a long time. Like, you got any advice or tips or whatever?" And he was talking about like scripts and yeah, I think it is kind of all the above. I like how you have all the irons in the fire of like what you're doing. You got this brand, you've got just formal like auditions you're still doing. So I think it's just about kind of everything.
pushing, right? Pushing on all fronts.
It's like a full on campaign, bro, for us to get to this next echelon. Like it's a
Yes.
full on fucking attack because it's so competitive. There's so many people who want to do it. So like, how do you
Well, the
get to
thing
that
that's
next
funny
level?
too is with all that, it happens in little ways. You chip away at little
It
ways.
does. Yeah.
I just got this manager that's big.
Yeah.
Um, that's one way. Like my clothing company for like a couple of years, I had the product, but it didn't really have, the product that I was super proud of, and or to have a foot in Hollywood. Now that has that. But then you're there and it's like, oh my gosh, well now we have everything that most people don't have, but like still there's not any eyes on it. So how do you like get in front of people? At least how I know how to do that. And the implementation process is tough.
Yeah.
And then with the acting stuff, it's like, you get the manager. I've gotten some like network TV credits. That was the biggest thing at first. It was like, how do you get in the club of getting a
Right.
network TV credit?
Right.
Got that. But yet still, it's like the gate doesn't open up completely. So you do have to appreciate where we're at. To some people, they look at us and be like, "Whoa, that's
Yeah.
they're like far
Dude, you
along."
would even be like when you're at the upper levels and like I'm sure there will be a time where we'll be like, well, fuck, like Leo's getting these in like A-list scripts. Why aren't I getting these
How
scripts?
they think.
And it's
That's
like,
how they
bro,
think.
you've just been in like a multi-million-dollar franchise, like, you know, but it is there's always going to be like that rung that's above you. And it's just kind of being creative about it. And also like everything's changing so quick. Um, Part of what I'm excited about YouTube is like as far as being an individual content creator, not like a distribution chain on YouTube, but like being a consistent creator, that's like a relatively new phenomenon. I haven't seen many people like, you know, on that front. And dude, I don't even know if we talked about this, but there's a 17-year-old filmmaker named Kane Parsons, and he just got he has like 2 million subs on YouTube, and he just got a deal with because he built out this world called the Backrooms. And
Mention this
everyone
to
got
me.
hyped
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. And he just got this deal with like A24 to do a movie. So that's a direct link. That's like a path that you can look at that's tangible of like, okay, this kid got these millions of subscribers that want this long form thing. And that's what led to it.
I want to check out his videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
His name Cain and Abel.
Kane Pixels. That's his YouTube account.
Okay.
Kane Pixels. If you just look up
Hey,
the Backrooms, you're gonna find it.
Backrooms. Weird.
But yeah, I think part of it is like looking at how it used to be done and taking what still works from that, but also thinking about the future and like how can you be on the cutting edge or the cusp of this like next
Yeah.
wave.
At the end of the day, the North Star is like innovate.
Yeah.
Um, you know, like challenge makes something super cinematic. By the way, I actually have to take off in like 3 minutes if
All
possible.
good, man. We got a lot of good shit in.
We have indeed. How's your weekend looking?
It's good, bro. I got these 2 shorts that I'm gonna shoot. So I'm hyped about that. We got an ADR session also for this cinematic short that we've already shot.
I
How about
like
you?
it. I like it. I like it. My British writing partner's in town. Gonna show him
Hmm.
a bit.
Are you guys
Um,
gonna go on the water bottle tour and like pitch to people and stuff, or what's
he'd
the
like
plan?
to. I mean, these days they say general meetings are just so not like necessary.
For real? It's just a waste of time.
A waste of time. Nothing comes from them ever.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're good connects to have, like contacts.
But
And
again, it's like a lot of talk, what's
oh
getting done.
gosh, and I've just heard that from like Grace and stuff. My
Yeah.
cousin. And like it's just
Even
so
at that level, that's crazy.
that level. It's like,
Yeah.
they're all like whining about like, oh, you like fly out, you come to LA, and like you have meetings at all these huge networks, and
Yep.
it's just like, oh, you know what we'd love to see you in is like, something like this and something like that, and it's like nothing comes from it. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, what would my this was actually like 6 months ago. They were talking about this, and I'm like, what would my general meeting be about? I don't even know. But now I would really know, and I'd have something to kind of bring them if they saw value mentality stuff.
It's true. It's true. I think it's all about like always being in the driver's seat of your career. Like even at those higher levels, like if you have a project and you start a project and you start pushing it down the line, and then you have people in your court because you're at a certain level, like they're then going to get excited about it, and it's going to be this like moving train. But if you're just like, I don't have any project or any ideas, but I'm here, like what do we do? Like nothing's going to come from that.
Yeah, 100%. Um, yeah, bruv. You see anything good lately?
Uh, no.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I've been watching that. I've been watching more soccer lately.
Very cinematic
Yes,
for the
cinematic. Well,
yeah
it was the behind the
comp.
scenes show that inspired me to watch more soccer. The behind the scenes on the Brazil national team is called All or Nothing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. By the way, I think I might have told you, but the coach Titi, like one of the most like successful
Your
people.
team is Brazil.
No, not in my team. It's just
You just like watching whatever.
yeah, they're known as like the best international team in the world, probably
Yeah.
historically, like Brazil,
Yeah.
soccer. And their coach because it's like hard knocks basically behind the scenes. The coach says he goes, the number one thing I want to implement for you guys, courage. Courage to continue to do what's the same thing if you're winning. Courage to lose even when you're losing, but don't be a loser. Try to win, pursue winning, but be brave enough to lose. Because and like it's just, people don't talk enough about that. Everyone chokes. Everyone
Everyone
loses.
chose.
Everyone chokes, and like that truly, they don't emphasize enough. Like you got to keep trying even when you fail.
Exactly.
People say give up after a while, don't run into the ground. But no, I think it was more valuable for like little kids and stuff to know, or people to try to like you got to fail a little bit and just keep trying.
Yeah, dude. Because that's reality. And like whatever actor you look up to most that you're like, damn, I want that fucking career. Like that motherfucker had to go through so much shit that we'll never know. And it's
Totally.
like, yeah, I wish people were more honest about that too, because everyone has that visual, like that image of,
Everyone
yo,
wants to come
like
off cool.
easy. Yeah, exactly. Dude, even I do. Like, I'll admit it. Like, everything I put out, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm on my shit. But they don't have any idea the behind the scenes that goes into this.
Right? Yeah, we all look like freaking morons.
Yeah. On
Super.
that note,
Okay. All right, brother.
always good seeing you.
You too, my man. See
Keep
you
up the
later.
good work. Do it
You
next
too,
week.
bud. Have a great
Bye.
week.